Go Beaver! Away!
Bonum Vesperam, citizens of the world. We have VVV, as they have been formerly known, Vini Vidi Vinci, or some meme altered to that, but they are right now called Twice, and they are once right now playing against SDCK onto our very first map. But just to put you into the context, this preseason cup is usually this time around there to just test the maps. And just have a quick peek onto the rosters that we know who we are dealing with. We have Pijaka on Scout, Dima on Soldier, Deity or Deity on the Pyro class, Demoman will be semi-heavy, Blur, Engineer Kirek, Jorge on the Medic class, Sniper will be Dankra, Spy, as the name maybe even proclaims, Sneaky. And who is opposing them tonight, Buck?
Yeah, it will be the Titans that is SDCK. It's going to be Viljack on Scout this time as opposed to May usually. It's going to be Jackie Legs on Soldier, Yahoo on Pyro, Murphy on Demo. Heavy will be Sunburn, Engineer, Team Leader Clark, with Sprayer on Medic this time instead of Gedu. Proki also on Sniper this time instead of Kaza, and Spy will be Mezzo.
But it is about the maps. So the first map will be Propaganda. I looked on the map page of the creator and it said it's a mashup of Process and Gullivosh. But we are right now going into the first match, into the only map that is going to be played between those two teams. It will be Propaganda CP Capture Points, abbreviated that is, and it will be Twice, formerly known as Vini Vidi Vici, against SDCK, as Murphy is sort of, I don't want to say a fast rollout, because what are the presets here and the pretext for rollout for Demoman honestly on this map, but just battling it out here. No team has any casualties, but the first one is going to be Spy. Mezzo, brackets inactive, visibly not going to kill the first player there. Sneaky also going to get gunned down there. Clark, the only victim really by a fully charged body shot, but Jackie Legs cleaning up Dankro, who has done the work onto SDCK, but SDCK with a very firm grip onto the first mid-fight.
Yeah, pretty good mid-fight there, mainly just because Murphy got there so quickly, and then Jackie Legs immediately goes in behind Cave, behind the rest of Twice. And like Sunburn's taking pressure from the flank, and just, I mean, he managed to stay alive that entire time. So he's trying to pressure through this sort of thin alleyway choke right now. Take down Creek's mini, and they're trying to force the combo Twice back into the cave. But it managed to get a lot of pressure right now, and they're probably trade Uber soon.
We're in this very fortunate position where we can just make up map calls, honestly, because, I mean, they're on the bridge, and not even the bridge, they're just this concrete area, just going to spam them eagerly, very but so much damage going onto the blue team. They're forcing them low because they were on the low ground, and low ground is a disadvantage there, and no team has popped onto Sprayer. No, Sprayer has popped. He got forced quite low, and they're trying to walk in from top right now. Just amazing and insane amounts of damage going to come in. They kept the point as well. This is Demoman on the last point here. Murphy is going to fight the Engineer, just about going to catch that out, and Sebastian is the only one trying to resolve any sort of victory or any sort of defense even there for Vini Vidi Vici, but under 2 minutes, their first round to SDCK.
Mezzo already on 11 points. It's going to be racking up those saps and those kills coming in, so already going to be carrying their team to victory there with a lot of momentum coming in. And they didn't have to use Uber for a long time there, SDCK. Just getting all that high ground pretty much for free, not fearing the sniper at all. Probably because he was down from the flank, and here we go. Now we've got another mid rollout from Twice going through this cave, and see how this mid fight goes.
Semi rolled out through the cave, so we can just say for future it's a semi-cave, maybe even as this car is just going to get eked out there though. But a lot of damage onto the Vini Vidi Vici combo, absolute car crash there into the cave itself. Going to get forced out here, Viljack on the hunt, Deity going to get cleaned up by Murphy, who was way faster once again onto the rollout, onto the mid area itself. Dima trying to get something there on the choke, only face full of bullets. His hard counter. Sandburn going to ring him out of the air there with the Tomislav, and they secure this position once again. Didn't even lose a single player in the transition area.
Yeah, a bit of a brave jump in from Dima there. Not really sure what he was expecting since they just capped the point and immediately faces a heavy trying to chase Jackie Legs there. But again, speaking of Jackie Legs, bombs all the way and sort of floating around in the sky. The trade Uber's on this middle choke point area though. They do lose Proki going down here, and Clark taking some of that Uber as well. A bit of a flash on the Engineer, but at the moment they seem to be stabilizing as they lose Murphy as well.
that push got tanked, because that area maybe can even be called tank. I like this little tank that's just twitching its barrel there. I'm kind of getting my viewpoint distracted there, but they're just walking forward. His Sandburn is going to fall. Wilczek as well. Good coordination onto the spam there from this high ground. Daddy is going to get cleaned up as well there by Scck, and they have funny, once again, funny names, but we're not going to call them out also in brackets. But Blur is going to get stabbed there by Mezzo, just racking up his kill streak and even his points there, but Sammy on a 3 kill streak himself, claiming the spy there, and without and beyond a reasonable doubt they are going to trade Ubers here quite so soon, as Jabesne has this little advantage, but they're going to run completely oblivious into Sandburn.
Yeah, they disrespect Sandburn there. I mean, they didn't really peek the choke to see if he was actually there for a while, and they just lost their own heavy. You need to be very careful around these like tight corners when you don't know if a heavy's there, especially on Tomislav, because you can't even hear him revved up. So, but he does go down for his troubles there, and they're going to be on 100% Uber actually, as Sprayer manages to keep that. He'll be rotating in again through this alleyway. Probably going to look to Uber onto Murphy here. He doesn't really have much team backing him up though at the moment, so he needs to wait for that dive to come in.
This sort of issue with this 90-degree corner there, which a corner usually is, to be fair, but they have to kind of blindside themselves and just going to Scck eagerly and all the time there into Sandburn, who just stays around the corner. Formerly it was the Dima, and then afterwards it was the opposing heavy. They're going to pop this Uber right now that they have engineered themselves into this last. Absolute no protection there for the cap at all, except the stickies, but being completely and very quickly diffused, as so much damage going to be here. Daddy, who is Yahoo onto the last point. He's showing that he's the superior search machine, and Google is not there, but yeah, I mean, Yahoo is going to clean that up with the help of Murphy, and 2-0 there for SDCK.
Oh, I think Seb DC'd, and now we go. Jorge is actually back in the fight for them. So different medic. We'll have to see if it changes up any of their gameplay. And apparently he's running crits, so let's see how this goes for the mid fight.
Yeah, different medic, different medigun as well. They definitely felt like there was some switch up there to be salvaged, since only 5.5 minutes they are already 2-0 down. We probably have to make some comments about the map itself as the game progresses, because I don't know if it is so much SDCK playing to the favors of the map, but just the M fight is going to favor them. They are going to take 3v1 against Sandburn though, which is definitely the right call right now.
As soon as the demo or the scout or the soldier just try and come onto that high ground, it makes it very hard for them. And it's like a lot of spam, as is demonstrated here. And they're actually running out basically on full health, but nice shot there for Pokey. Actually gets the demo on the retreat here, as they're going to be coming back into the choke with the crits. They managed to get one with the crit rocket as Jorge goes down.
Issue is, you are not invincible as a medic when you use crits, so you need to team to protect you, and there we go, just Clark two-shotting the medic. They're essentially only able to get one crit sticky out on the demo man itself, Sammy there. They're even forcing Spray here onto the second point, or maybe Spray did not have the call that they were already backed out. There was Pijaka there forcing the just forcing the Uber out of the equation. They're trying to lurk something in, but I think they're probably just going to build Uber, which is right now used by both medics once again. Deity getting a bit cheeky there, but overly aggressive there, and sneaky as well, losing players and easy spam as well, but Dankra is just scrutinizing these head areas. Oh, the pipes come in as well. Jorge being so far forward.
That was the disrespect, really. I mean, that was roleplay from Yahoo. Not only did he know that Blur was holding back and there was no coming out to actually deny him from walking in there into the demo and the mid, but like the actual follow-up came through from SDCK on the sides as well. Just putting in that spam angle, and yeah, it catches them out. Although, saying that, they win that sort of spam angle, but then they lose this point now, so they're going to be trying to recontest this and come towards this choke as the sticks get laid in from Murphy, and it's still a decent ad though for Sprayer.
This fast stretch out last point just makes it, in general, by the way, this is right now where the pass came in, just makes it difficult, at least for a viewer perspective, to even keep tracks on all the 3 flanks that are able to just be approached there onto the last point, and maybe even winning conditions there. But in the resulted bottom line, it means Jorge got piped on last, and Sprayer right now has a 50% advantage. He had an even bigger one, but they are kind of being timid and just sitting onto the midpoint, or not even timid, they just don't want to do anything really. They're going to play around their sniper, coming right now without even looking. Sprayer just pops early. I don't want to have a drop on my logs, maybe from an uncalled sniper, but they're just going to walk in. Got no frag at all, but they got the point, so woohoo.
Yeah, they get the point, but it's kind of like the Sixers fight here, as they're going to maybe recontest this with the Nuba. I mean, Del's trying his best to try and keep them out of this middle choke point as Clark and Jackie Legs looking to pressure, but they come around this right side now. They got Scout and Demo. Vilja looking for a bit of a flank though. Ooh, gets one nice meat shot. onto Jorge there and gets the force out, but they don't. This is a bit directionless. They're not really sure where to go. They managed to go through the middle choke again, and they do manage to get some frag, so maybe turning this around.
They did the primary goal, but there's a sticky trap, they're close. Oh my god, that was really clutch there onto Murphy, not even getting that frag there onto the medic, really close, didn't catch anyone out. Mezzo also trying to get something with the acting itself, but they were onto him. That primary focus there was good on the Uber itself. It means we play the Highlander metagame, we use on a demo man, but we also use on a scout. But there was no run really with them, and they tried to wrap them from behind, but in the end, the rest of the SDCK players just kind of fed into the Uber itself, so 4 players down onto SDCK, which just enabled Vini Vidivici, or twice to once kept this the second point here right now, but little disadvantage once again. Sprayer is going to sniff that out. He's going to push right now with balls of steel into the sideline of the Demoman, but they don't want to give this up here really, and Yahoo's just so far forward, just forces the Uber and no protection for the Demoman, who even gets, he gets pop Uber onto him and then he dies, because he was like 20 HP and they got the Uber off him.
Yeah, really weird engages actually here from SDCK. I mean, they managed to keep the space twice on that stairway, and like Yahoo just runs into them again. Like, Blur is not doing his job to try and deny the Pyro from walking in. Yahoo's being much more aggressive than he normally plays, especially on like some COF maps. But yeah, and then they managed to get their backline in as well, like round the sides, with Jackie Legs trying to bomb in, with Mezzo trying to coordinate that. And yeah, now it's kind of back to square one, and it's a bit of a stalemate, although nice snipe coming out onto the demo, which might open up a lot of space.
A bit spoliated there by Semi being forward. He had to pick that sideline though, but the issue is when you walk as a demo man in here, you don't really have any cover. You have to commit yourself quite a bit to the cars, and he gets his head once again scrutinized there by the opposing sniper. They just choose early there because they saw them, and Jorge even goes for an arrow. Maybe get at least some damage points in there, but they pop the Uber responsively into Pyro with a heavy. But let's see if this follow-up aggression can just salvage them once again onto this point. No, they're completely getting shoved here into this choke area. So much damage onto Center and onto Yahoo, and Blur is blurring the picture there of SDCK, completely killing them with bullets.
Yeah, they kind of committed into that choke. I mean, not only did they have the spam from Blur and from Sammy, but Dima actually rotated into spam as well, so there was an additional sort of source of damage coming through that choke point, as they seem to be rotating through twice to this left side. Got a few players here, but their medic isn't here. They're trying to make some space with their sniper, as well as trying to keep everyone buffed. They do actually manage to get 2 here. Make that 3 as Del manages to pick up Sunburn somehow, as they managed to try and take some space, but a bit of a scrappy fight going on.
That stairway was just completely taken there by twice, and they even piped clock there through under. There was a little pincer movement, and on the left side as well. It seems to be very important once you push out, since you have 3 flanks to worry about, and the last point caps quite fast, so you have to cover all the angles, and they exactly did that. But going to suffer here onto the second point, a bit discoordinated there in the follow-up aggression. Usually popping out was well, but Froggy going to get killed there, but Sammy completely trapped, and Jorge is going to leave him. He had Uber left in his bank, but wanted to have a good KD and don't get jeopardized there, honestly. I mean, if you don't play brave with your demo man, then you just get the end result in the end. You always die.
I don't know why Sammy didn't decide to use a stick to jump out there. He easily could have jumped out and then ran back to the choke and then been buffed up as Jorge as he was retreating, and then maybe could have denied that damage onto Jorge, and he could have stayed alive here. So now Straya's on a 40% advantage. Blur's kind of left with his dispenser from Kareem to try and defend this one side. They're all going to be coming through this middle choke, but the one problem is they're dealing with the spam coming out from Sammy as he comes back from the spawn. And wow, this is just, I don't know, Dima's kind of buff bannering out. They're trying to get some pressure in here. I don't know whether they can find a lot of it though, as SDCK trying to keep his passive position. Oh! Huge spam pipe from Sammy. I don't know how the medic just ate that. Sprayer just eating those pipes in the face.
That's the miracles of Sprayer. He stays alive all the time, and then he does funny waddles into spam there. Also getting Procky down there, so Denkron is 6k before he got killed. Also the players having a bit of funny talk there in the game chat itself, and just going to talk about this map, but going to get stabbed there just essentially by Mezzo, who is also on the big earner, just judging from the speed buff. But once again, it is kind of slowly ticking down here, and this last cap really being prolonged because this only choke point that they want to push in is this high ground from the top right. Going to spam them quite so far away, but right now it is a bit more space for SDCK to be quite fair, as Yahoo is going to fall there, but JackieLex on the last point itself, getting so much damage there, going to force Uber out of Deity. Jorge going to pop onto him, and they just about clean everyone up. Spray are so weak as well, going to get chased out there as Pijaka and Pihaka going to kill Wiljack 1v1 and kills the medic afterwards, so that might be their ticket into the second point right now.
Oh god, they disrespect Murphy though, and his spam comes in, and Sunburn is still here putting out the damage, still alive somehow, and now JackieLex with the bomb. Oh my god, they pushed out way too early there, not the right players they had in position, as, I mean, you know, SDCK might be low, but they can still do damage the same way. And they get severely punished for it. The pushes out from Twice have not been that great. I mean, Sunburn pretty much single-handedly denied them on that stairway earlier as the whole team came through, and then they lose their demo. It's just absolutely tragic, and now they're stuck on this last point. They all started to stabilize as the coordination on the last push from SDCK wasn't the best. But here we go, we're trying to spam the choke once again.
Seems a bit arbitrary there. They got 4 picks early on. I was not criticizing that forward push, but the issue is you can just get easily denied there by the combo, which just did that easily onto the high ground itself. Murphy going to get quite low there, but essentially surviving, which is crucial part. Wiljack with 2 times cap onto the point itself. Going to get help there by Clark, 3-0. They help them for quite long right now, I mean 10 minutes, and it shows sort of the winning conditions there, which are obviously get frags, which they meant to do and which they also did, but on the push out they kind of didn't flank them from other routes, so the combo just easily sat there even without heals and denied them really. Murphy and Sandburn reading that early and denying the combo from walking through that side and high ground, you know, really. But let's see how this fourth mid fight here right now battles out as JackieLex just going to leap quite aggressively forward. Mezzo counter espionage on Sneaky itself. Denkra counter snipage onto the enemy sniper there, and just a huge reflect from Deity. Right now it seems like Twice is winning this mid fight, but Jorge is going to get dealt with JackieLex. He just jumped about and behind so early.
Oh my god, this cleanup is so poor from Twice though. They should have easily won that fight. Sandburn was just getting pocketed on the, like, near the point, and they didn't focus the med for some reason, like, until way later, and they somehow win this with just Clark and Sandburn alive, like, just living through that entire fight. I don't know why after Porky went down to Denkra, they didn't just play off the SVS. Like, that would have been so much easier, but instead they rush it. It's like a really quick mid fight, and then end up just losing it out with, like, sheer impatience. So could have gone a lot better for them, but I mean, luckily they managed to get Sprayer in that engagement.
Right now we're eyeing up this choke point here. Jorge is sitting on a 30% advantage. Let's see. Denkra is kind of a bit, well, not really protected here. The demo man is close, but he doesn't have heals. Going to back out. They want to commit themselves and to their cars a bit more to the cave. JackieLex is trying to get something here, but just finds the entire enemy team. Mezzo is going to be the lurker that follows up after this aggression has went down, but we have to see how they really want to capitalize off that advantage that they're having right now onto the Uber itself. Wiljack also dying, so no quick escape there for Sprayer if he wants to, but he's so far passive. Denkra also getting the shot onto Porky. They might even want to go in here without using, but they're so close here. SDCK, they should just really roll them. They're kind of wasting the super advantage here as Sammy's so far forward. He's so weak. He gets just reflected down. Can you pop? We have a right click.
Yeah, Jorge kind of baiting Sammy there, I think. I don't know whether that was a bit of a comms issue, though, as to whether they're having a bit of discussion as to whether they wanted to go in or not. I mean, ideally, again, after winning the SVS, probably could have played that a bit slow, maybe tried to spam the choke a bit with the sniper. Although that choke is a bit weird trying to get a sniper sightline through, but either way. They managed to lose 2, though, the SDCK, as the Uber comes in onto Delta, interestingly enough, try and force them out of the choke, as it does a good job actually forcing the SDCK combo back, as the cave threat gets shut down as well as JackieLex goes down. And yeah, gonna try and reset this. Murphy's still alive, they're trying to make some sightlines for Porky to get in here.
They did not really have any choice there after the demo man went down, just had to pop there onto the Pirates have, going to kill Porky though, and this follow-up aggression going to walk through the choke point. Finally, courageous attempt there. Sandburn and Murphy, the entire combo, paying their price because they stayed so far forward still, and you know, we're maybe not expecting Twice to finally walk forward there courageously, and Jorge after that 20% advantage. Sprayer crucially there got out, but maybe this is their the chance to push it to the second point, maybe get a board and a point on the board itself for themselves. That Denkra gets his face rubbed off by his bicycle.
Yeah,
oh my god.
No! Jorge, what are you doing standing there, my dude? Oh, that's just a lack of sightline knowledge. That's unfortunate. I mean, this is a new map, so I don't blame him. He's definitely learnt that lesson now, though. Jeez Louise. And there we go. Mezzo gets another stab onto Sammy. Not only does he kill Karik solo and then Denker solo in the batlines to prevent them from getting their engineer and their sniper forwards, he then comes forward with the stab onto the demo. So, yeah, flank and assassin class is coming in pretty big there for SDCK.
Can't understand the lack of knowledge onto sidelines, since this map seems to be very, very all over the place, which with its objects, just you don't really know where you can stand, and the snap can peek through, as he's right now peeking through this sort of cafe area there on the right side. Denkra trying to shoot them, but this point has been long lost, as right now the Uber comes in, kind of maybe expecting them to be a bit closer there, but you have to cross the corner and then see everyone is already out of this, so they got jeopardized there. Once again, a Proc still peeking, still having all the space that he needs to kill Blur there onto the high ground itself. Sometimes, maybe, even we see a small rotation. No, I thought we see some sort of rotation through Cafe, but they just want to always take this right side, this choke point here. We've seen them a couple of times choking through the choke point and not getting the last push in, so maybe it is time to switch up the strategies. They tried like main once and the high ground all the time.
Yeah, they're trying to rotate their flank and their heavy, interestingly enough. Actually, with their heals here, they're trying to rotate the heals. Buffbunner comes out, though, from Dickmann and the Uber.
But there's no one
holding legs and Mezzo. But, I mean, they're going to try and come in here. Sambo's kind of in a weird position, holding out the middle side, as the rest of the team kind of retreats into cave. Clark's now being pocketed by Sprayer. Sambo comes in, though, with a lot of damage with the help of Viljack, as they're coming in here. Gets a nice arrow, but Blur's damage is a bit too heavy to come in there, as Denko probably get caught out here as well. But a bit of a... and it's almost a wipe there twice as the SDCK is going to surge into this last point.
Heavy damage by Blur is going to enable them, no pun intended, onto the last point. 4-0. We have to see if we even can play down the entire map timer, or if the win difference of 5 here will decide the fate of this map. We saw there, once again, they sort of, you know, they just blindly popped and blindsided themselves, popping there early. No one was really home, and then Sandman just hit under. Everyone else was already going out, and they needed to salvage some sort of advantage out of their position. They had the high ground, but just got easily pressured out there. Also, the sniper being up Rocky, they're only dying sort of at the end of that fight, definitely helping them as the soldiers just meeting over the top, but Kirek is the first one to lose his head there. Jackie Legs always bombing so far ahead with his little skip jump there, and the entire pick classes and flank classes are behind the enemy team. Behind twice, but they're getting frags here right now onto the combo itself. Jackie Legs also dying, getting cleaned up there in the backlines, but Yahoo is getting so much flame damage, and it forces the Uber.
Yeah, so I mean, they want to use it to secure the mid fight, and in fairness, it does kind of work, and they keep Denker's back in the fight as well now. Just be careful, don't overextend here, and Spread does importantly keep his Uber, but yeah, bit of a scrappy fight there. I mean, Pork had a lot of space on that one side as the whole team is kind of playing around him, as Blur kind of went out to chase someone in the back line, so kind of just left the spam onto Samba. But Samba took a lot of heals on the mid fights, and Demon again pops the buff ban. Actually managed to force out Sprayer here. Does go down to the sticks from Murphy as he's invincible, but yeah, it's going to be kind of kiting this one out twice. But they need to regroup properly here. They're a bit all spread out.
Sprayer is so chaseable, they completely, what I think is a fair play. I wanted to have an analysis approach there, but the spy comes in. Wow, pick class, wow, double backstab. Okay, the winning condition completely out of the window there. They could have chased Sprayer out. They, I feel, had a smart choice there, just going to go onto Murphy, focusing the biggest damage dealer of them all early on. He was kind of, he threw himself out of position post Uber there, really. Sprayer also got forced there, kind of a Sprayer pop, didn't really look at the soldier, just popped onto instinct, and having his KD and his Uber drops in mind in the back of his head. But in general, right now, it is once again a little small advantage there for Sprayer in the end, and Jorge, I feel like, is kind of needs to have a bit more coordination there onto the combo itself, as he also just lost out with Sammy in these sort of Uber exchanges, but Pijaka getting his head taken off there in mid-air, and they are just so hungry forward here.
Denker gets popped up like 3 times vertically by the sticks that I'd be so mad if I was him and be like, what is this knockoff? Murphy getting those good sticks in to kill him. So not only did he clean up the flank, they cleaned up the sniper. No fear from Sprayer walking in here, as he's got nothing to worry about his head for, as they managed to cut this point off his clock on it, as Sambo's actually on his flank side, coming out if they're going to be pushing from that direction. But it is even Ubers here, importantly. And it is pretty much all on SDCK to try and make this push work.
They have negotiated the advantage that was onto them there early in the fight, though Jorge is going to pop responsively. I'm not sure if SDCK even knew that they already had, but they're playing it so safe here, not really losing any players. Only long-range snipe there onto Kirek, and Vilcic's also going to get juggled in here. Double meat shots there onto Semi after getting juggled into the sideline. This is just the level of play that Vilcic brings into the play itself and into the game itself, as the AT went down, but Jackie Legs on the last point usually only sees Spy there, gets so much cap time done, really for free with his rockets, and only 2 left alive. The follow-up crew coming in 5-0. Hello, we are SDCK, we're still here, and we can beat you on any map. So we're wrapping the first game up. We don't even know if the map itself gets into the main season, which is what we're deciding in this preseason cup. But don't go anywhere, we have 2 more games and 2 more maps coming up onto the horizon. Also, as always, you can check out our social media, you can check out our merchandise, and you can just help the channel by, first of all, being there and also lurking a bit about on the websites mentioned and that you can see onto the screen. But we'll see you in a short while on, I have to check, onto ProPlant, but yeah, we'll see you then.